Hi, and welcome to this session on what's new in financial management. It's an overview session of the features and improvements we've done to financial management in Business Central in this 2024 Wave 1 release. My name is Brian Nielsen. I'm a program manager with the Business Central team, and I'll take you through the features. We made quite a few improvements. Some of these improvements have their own videos. We have done GL revaluation or currency code on general ledger entries. We've added some Excel reports, more to come. We've done improvements to consolidation, and we have focused on collection management, where we have created a new role center and improved the reminder process. All of these capabilities have their own video, so I won't go into much detail here. And then we have allowing 0 lines in recurring journals with the fixed method. Nice little improvement. And we have also enabled currency posting to employee ledgers that we introduced a few releases ago. So let's just take a brief look at each of these features so you know where to find them and what they will do for you. But for the top ones, go and find the video that digs a little deeper into these topics. So GL revaluation has been the top idea on the BC Idea site for a long time. In the GL account card, you will now be able to specify when you're posting a journal or a document with currency, whether you will accept for this GL account that currencies are posted with the same currency, which you will then specify. Maybe you just want transactions in one currency. It could be that you will only allow local currency and you don't want any currency transactions to it. It's also an option. You may want multiple currencies, or in this case, I'm about to select blank here, you will allow any currency. You will also be able to set a small toggle whether you want revaluation to happen for this account, and you can also decide whether that adjustment or revaluation entry will go to unrealized or realized adjustment accounts. So if you decide that you will accept multiple currencies, there's a small associated table with the GL account where you can specify which currencies are allowed when you post currency transactions. And finally, once you've done it, there is a batch job in the chart of accounts where you can execute an adjustment batch job that will then create adjustment entries that you can post. And because it's a journal with some entries, you can go in and adjust them and validate them before you post. We have added a set of Excel reports in this major release that comes out here in April. There are 8 new reports. They are suffixed with a preview tag because we expect to make changes to them and small improvements. In this first release, there are 8. I know that we are working on the next 12 reports, and the complete list is somewhere between 25 and 30, depending on how you see it. The new reports, like the ones that are in here now, are trial balances, like you're on general ledger. And we have some age receivables, age payables, and the top list for customers and vendors. One of the reports could look like this. This is the age receivables. Excel reports can manage a lot of data, but there are still some restrictions and limitations. So we have, in the first batch of reports, focused on the reports that still makes a lot of sense looking at in Excel, even though they're aggregated. Most of these reports will have one or multiple report pages, we call them. That, like in this case, there's a report where you have age receivables by period in local currency, in the functional currency, and sometimes 1 or 2 extra pivots on data if it makes sense in the given report. The underlying data is in a separate table so that if you want to create your own report, you can just refer to this and start creating your own report. Maybe you want it by period, maybe you want it to break it down by customer group or something else. You can do that because the underlying data is there compared to a normal report from Business Central. But it is still aggregated data, and if you want to dig deeper, you will have to wait to one of the minor releases where some of the reports will contain more detailed data. You will have general ledger entries in the detailed trial balance. The accounts receivables, I know you will probably want to look at customer ledger entries. They will come with the customer balance to date report. And similarly for other reports. So you'll get your details. But remember, it is Excel. It's not a full copy of the database. So there are use cases where this is more relevant to use. Another improvement is the consolidation feature. We have helped the user manage currencies when you're doing consolidations. We have enabled the user to, while they're in the process of doing consolidation, to look up the currency exchange rate, and if they're trying to recover from a mistake, they can also look up previous runs and pick rates from there. That is an important aspect of recovery from or rerunning previous periods in consolidation. And you'll be able to get a better overview of currencies while you're doing consolidation. Another theme in this release for finance is collection management or account receivables. The process of sending out payment requests, applying payments to outstanding invoices and keep tracking of your account receivables is something that consumes a lot of resources and time in the finance department. So we decided to focus a little more on this in this release, and the coming releases you'll see some more to make it a better process and for the user to get better overviews. So we started with a new role center for the account receivables administrator that gives you the navigation to the places you want to go to and the task you want to execute while you're doing account receivables. The role center has some queues so you can keep track of what's going on in your business, what are the outstanding invoices, the balance, and so forth. We've also improved the reminder or sending out reminders process. We've improved how you set up the terms, especially around tailoring the email text when you're sending out reminders, because maybe you want to tailor them to the first email that you send out versus the last email you send out to ask for payments. But that is all good. You get better overview, you get a better setup. But we also decided that maybe it's time that we also help you with the full process. So we added automation for reminders, and that will help you create, issue, and sending out reminders. So you basically don't have to do anything other than setting it up and follow along. And of course, from time to time, pick up the phone and talk to customers. But it has its separate video where we go deeper in this feature. We've also added the ability to keep 0 lines in general recurring journals. Journals in general, we don't like to post 0 to general ledger, so we block you and throw up a warning asking you to either add an amount or get rid of the line that is causing the error. This is all good when you're posting journals, but in recurring journals, where you may be posting accruals that are the same from period to period, you want to keep the line because you want to go and modify each of them in each run. And here I'm referring to when you're using the fixed method, like where you set the amount. It could be payroll, it could be accruals, it could be something else, revenue recognition. And you have a set of lines that you want to keep track of. Sometimes the amount for a given period is 0. And normally it would cause an error. But now when you post, we will just keep the line. It won't be posted as a 0 line, it will just be ignored, just as when you're doing the balance methods. And lastly, but not least, we introduced employee ledgers a few years back. At that time, we focused on local currency because we thought if you have employees, you will reimburse them in local currency. So when you type in something, you may want to convert it to local currency, but you still only need the local currency amount. But a lot of feedback has been sent our way, asking us to enable to post with currencies in employee ledgers, just as you would for customers and vendors, and also to keep track of it, and also to adjust balances if that's the case. So we now allow you to not only select currency for employees, but you will also see it in the general ledger, so you can look it up, for example, if you want to validate something. Take a look at these new 8 features we have in financial management, or take a look at the videos for some of them where we dig a little deeper in how they work and where you start the different features. If you have ideas, go to, for example, BC Ideas, create a new idea or vote for any of the existing ones and provide us with some input for improving or maybe new features. We go through each one of them. For example, the GL revaluation or currency code on GL is from BC Ideas. The currency code with employee ledgers is also from Ideas. So we do listen, so do go in and give us feedback. Thank you for joining this session.